Hi and welcome to Mountains for Everybody YouTube channel and site. Today I have again one practical question. This time it is related to the Dolomites mountains in the Italian Alps. So this was a question that I posted or noticed on one Facebook group, and the person asked, can you hike the Alta Via one while camping legally? So if you are not familiar with the Dolomites, the meaning of this title is the following. Dolomites are a national park, and according to the laws, it is not allowed to do wild camping. So you cannot just go and with a tent and then sleep wherever you want. Of course, I have seen a number of tents in the Dolomites at different places, and I must admit that I slept a few times in a tent myself, but the regulations are clear and there are possible penalties. There are really a limited number of exceptions where you can sleep in a tent. And this means in emergency situations. I have a separate text here in the site with this title, Can You Camp Anywhere in the Dolomites? And then facts and real life practices. So this is a detailed text, and I give some links to the authorities, to some offices that I contacted and asked about this particular issue. So they say sometimes if it is an emergency situation, you can sleep in a tent. For example, if this is about true alpinists that climb some wall and then they have to put the tent somewhere and then continue the climb in the morning. On the other hand, I have seen a few Italian YouTubers that actually go to the summits and then sleep exactly on summits in tent. So you see, I don't know if the rules are really enforced. I have never seen anybody patrolling, but again, you should know that this is not allowed. And this is why this person was asking. So the meaning of this title was, can you stay in a tent in official campsites? And here, if you want a quick answer, then it is no, it's not possible. And you will realize from the text that I have here in front of me why this is not possible. So the Alta Via 1 route is 1 out of 10, and it is quite long for, at least for the Dolomites standards. It is around 125 kilometers. And here is a map that I created for this post, where you have a few markers, and I shall explain what they mean. Most of the time, I think people start from the north, from Lago di Braies, and this is the marker 1 here in the map, and then they end up in Belluno, which is marker 3, or a bit farther, which is marker 2 here. So this is around 120 kilometers, and other markers that I put here are actually official camping spots that are reasonably close to the Alta Via 1 route. So there are several of them here, perhaps you cannot see them. There is a list with their names here in the text, and here is a closer view, a look on these three here that are quite close to each other. So this is Staulanza pass here, and then you have two camps when you go down the valley. But if you don't do this, you can go over to Coldeye Lake. I have another text here in the site where you can see this lake, and there is a hut here. And this is yet another camp, which is Cadore, not far again, not far from the route. So if I go back to this map, these three, out of these three, you can use only one, because you wouldn't really stay in number 5 and then walk till number 7 because it's too short distance. You can do this, of course, if you want to take a rest, and you would realize that you would have perhaps to take a rest. Problem is, from 1 to 2 or 3, it is around 120 kilometers. And as you see from this, you have actually 3 stages. So each of them is around 40 kilometers. Actually, the last stage is a bit longer. Now, this is about sleeping in official camp spots, so you will have to carry your own outdoor sleeping equipment, tent and other stuff. And the distances are long, but this is not only about physical length. I shall show you some numbers. So total altitude gain, there are many ups and downs. Total altitude gain is more than 7,000 meters, and on descent it is more than 8,000 meters. And the highest point is actually Lagazoi area, which is more than 2,700. I have separate text about Lagazoi. This is the area. There is a hut here on the top, and this is Falzarego Pass below. So you see, it is about elevations, many ups and downs, and this is why it is practically impossible to do around 40 kilometers per day. So this is why I'm saying it's not possible. Now, is there anything else that could help a bit? And the answer is yes. Actually, there are bivouacs. And this is good news, but the bad news is actually that they are distributed mainly in the last section, last of the 3 sections. There is one in the first part, and this is the marker 8. So this is Bivacco della Pace. I have a separate text here in the site. I visited this place last summer. I was here. It's a beautiful place. So go back to this picture. Instead of descending to this official camp spot, which is deep in Alta Via Valley, you can climb actually to this spot and then continue towards Lagazoi area. Let me go back to the map. So you would go somewhere here where is the position of this bivouac, and then go to Lagazoi to switch to the Alta Via 1 route and then continue. So as you realize from this picture, this first stage is a bit shorter, but let's see what you have after that. You have actually many bivouacs in the last stage. You see, this is the endpoint 2 and endpoint 3 in Belluno, and there are 5 actually bivouacs here. But there are no bivouacs in the central stage. So how you could do this? Look, for example, here, this map. So you could do this from 1 to 8, this is Bivacco delle Pace, and then from 8 to 5, which is official Camp Cadore, and from 5, let's say, to 13, which is one of the bivouacs that I mentioned, and then finish the tour for today at the point 2 or point 3. So you see, you have now, let's say, 4 stages, 4 days. The problem is with the central, which is still long, and also with the first one that is still too long. So normally people walk this route in 7 to 12 days, and the best you can have here is 4 days. You could do perhaps a bit a small variant of this. For example, if you take 1 day from 5 to 7. So the distance is not big, but you could walk just a few hours and then take a long rest before you continue to the point 13, which is a bivouac. So this would make 5 days, but it is still, in my view, actually impossible. So if you want to camp wild, it's up to you. As I said, this is not officially allowed, so you can get in trouble. What you can do is to make reservation in 2 huts in the central area. So you see, in this case, You don't need any agencies to do this for you, because they would make a reservation for many huts. And for example, if you sleep in huts, in this case you can make reservation perhaps yourself in 2 huts only, and this then would be completely doable. You would sleep a few times 3 times in camp spots that are cheaper than huts, 2 nights in huts, and then also in bivouacs where you can sleep for free. So this would be the only option to do this, let's say in a 6 day or 7 if you want, to uh, make reservation in a couple of huts. So I end up here. Please follow the link below the video. You can come here to the site and then read this text in detail and follow the links from here. I also give here a link to the Facebook group Dolomites Visitors Hub, which I created some times ago, and I'm trying actually to grow it so you have everything about Dolomites here, and I invite you to join the group and help me growing it. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, give me a like if this is useful to you. Until next time.